Well, welcome to Sty Times. Hey, I hope you're having a I hope you had a good Monday. It's Monday evening. Yeah. Yeah, it's great to see you folks here. Yeah, we had folks popping in a little early. Eileen Ballou, the fam, was in here right away. And then Samantha Lee's Originals popped in. Hey, Sty. Love you, girl. Thanks for being here. Kurt Whipper, Voyager Center. Tim, awesome. Man, you are just always there for me, Tim. Love it. Love it. You're great. You're great. And there's Chase and the Reaper. James, it's always awesome to see you. Always awesome to see you. It's great to see folks out there in the chat, saying hi to each other. It's a chance to touch base with each other each day. It seems like we find a stream someplace we can touch base with all of our YouTube friends. Yeah, and Sty Times is a good place to do that. Just pop in and touch base with all your friends, and me, and me, please. And here's your chance. I always say it right at the beginning. Here's your chance. Share it out. Share it out. Hit that share button. Share it on your community tab or Facebook or whatever media you use. Yeah, the more the merrier. And there's Metal Music Maniac. Um, there you go. Yeah. Hey, there's Saucy Shane. Hey, Shane. Great to see you, brother. Great to see you. Yeah, today's topic. I need my pain. Yeah, you're going to hear some things about pain that you're going to probably think, yes, Sty, he's one goofy old bird. That's, yeah. I've got my own view on pain. And I want to share that with you folks. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to what I'm going to talk about. And there's a lot of folks, a lot of my friends, dear friends, that suffer from chronic pain. Now, I'm talking about periodic pain that isn't chronic and ongoing for long periods of time, because that type of pain is a whole different animal. It's a whole different animal than what I'm talking about today. And I'll touch base on chronic pain and some of those issues, but that's really not the topic. The topic is just common pains that we cause on ourselves most of the time, and just what good is pain, right? What good is it? Well, I need my pain. I need my pain. My pain, actually, I turn my pain into a benefit. Oh, thank you, Angie Max. It's great to see you. It's great to see you. Gosh, I feel so good that you showed up to my show. Awesome. And there's Crazy Ann. Oh, hi, sweetie. I love that you did a stream today. Oh, that made my day today. That made my day today. I yeah, I just loved seeing you. Yeah. The But what the heck does Sty mean by I need my pain? Well, I have found over the years, I've suffered my fair share of pain. Life has been a pain. I I don't seem to be able to get. I can't get through a month without something hurting bad. Even when I was young, I mean, my whole dang life has been that way. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Life's gonna hurt. And my granddad told me that when I was just a little boy. He said, I went to him one time and said, "Oh, Grandpa, oh gosh, I'm in a lot of pain. I hurt. I, I fell off the garage roof. I was clowning around up there, fell." And he goes, "You needed that pain?" I go, "What? I didn't need no pain." He goes, "Yes, you did." He says, "I bet you're not going to be on that garage doing that again." I go, heck no, you fall off of there, it's going to hurt. And he goes, exactly. You needed that pain. It taught you to stay the hell off that roof. So I'm like, oh, okay, I guess so. Yeah. Didn't register so much as a little kid, but boy, it registered years later when I found out that a lot of my pains, were self-inflicted, and those seem to be the ones that were easiest to deal with. Is if it's my own fault, I asked for the pain, and but if I suffered pain from something that I didn't have control of, it seemed a little harder to cope with. What's and Angie said, without any pain, life would have little meaning, and we would never recognize joy. Yeah, that's where I'm going with this, Angie. You betcha, girl. The I I am a firm believer that if you never hurt, then you really, really will never truly know what it is to feel good. So many of us have been through so much pain, physical pain, unbearable physical pain. So many of us have been through emotional pain, some of it just life changing, hard emotional pain. We've all been through pain. I've had people tell me, no, I've never ever really felt any hard pain at all. I'll BS. Go sell that goods to somebody else. You have, you just don't want to admit it. There's nobody that can get through this life without feeling pain. Pain is part of life. And it's part of life we don't like and we don't want to accept. And we always want to fight the pain. Fight the pain. We want to be without pain. Sometimes, though, we need to embrace the pain and learn from it. And then when you do that, you can look back on it and say, I need my pain. I needed that pain. I needed it. It changed my life. I do things differently. I'm better for it. The and the thing is so many people believe their pains are worse than their pains. My pains are so much worse than your pains ever were. I'm going to give an example here in a bit and I had someone tell me, oh, you didn't feel nothing compared to what I felt. Well, now, how in the hell do you know that? How in the hell do you know that your pain was worse than mine was? We went through the exact same experience. Your pain tolerance might be lower than mine. Okay. That I can understand. But to tell me that my pain is lesser than your pain or your pain is lesser than my pain, that's bold of a person to ever go there. Because we cannot feel another person's pain. So when they say they're in pain, give them 110% benefit of the doubt that yes, they are in severe pain. It might not appear to be severe to you, but it may be very severe to them. Pain is pain. Never measure your pain to another person's pain, ever. Don't do it to yourself or to them. Pain is pain. I'm the kind of person I've cut myself severely at times, where it takes many, many stitches to fix it. In my own doing, just not handling a tool properly, especially a big knife out in the woods. I run to the emergency room because it needs stitches. It's one of those you ain't gonna butterfly it, is it? Yeah, it's gaping. You got to have it fixed. I go to the emergency room and they irrigate it. They open the wound up and they irrigate it and they're doing all that. And I just sit there and I watch. Oh, wow, cool. That's what you do, huh? That's what. And they go, "Are you nuts? What do you mean? Doesn't that hurt?" Well, yeah, it kind of hurts, but not that bad. And they said, "Oh, God, we've had big burly men come in here with cuts like that, and their eyes roll back in their head and they faint." I don't think the pain was any different. I think what it was their perception versus my perception. The pain was equal. It's just how do you perceive that pain? You know, uh, the there's Tuna. Hey, I see Gemma's in the house. Hi, Gemma, sweetie. The the I don't. It's hard for me to pick examples because, like I said, I've been accident prone from day one. You know, I think when I was born, the doctor took me instead of slapping me to get me cry, he dribbled me on the floor, bump, 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 and said, "Congratulations, you're the parents of a bouncing baby boy, and he's going to have nothing but accidents the rest of his life." That would have been very accurate. The I'm going to give you one example of needing your pain. When I was out in Montana, I worked for a drilling operation. We did exploratory drilling for precious metals, for silver, gold, and we'd be way up in the backcountry and a good couple hours from the nearest little town. Well, I had an accident. I fell off of a truck. And unbeknownst to myself, I had done some very severe spinal injuries. My lower back, I had basically fractured 3 vertebrae and didn't realize how bad it was. After I was off that mountain, spent a couple days at home, then it reared its ugly head, how bad it was. And I had never experienced that severe of pain before. I couldn't walk. I could not get myself on my feet without falling on the floor. It hurt so bad. Went to the doctor. They x-rayed it. They said I had to stay immobile at least for the next 2 weeks. Well, it ended up being 6 weeks. I was off my feet. That pain was severe. The doctor said it's going to take a long time for that to recover, for that to heal and for you to recover. They said, so there's no sense in you suffering because you'll be in pain like that through almost the whole process. And there's no reason for you to have to suffer that pain. So, of course, they prescribed a pill for that, OxyContin. Well, taking it as prescribed, it deadened that pain down to the point where it was like a mild toothache kind of pain in my back, not this searing, you can't take it kind of pain. After about a week and a half, I got up and I said, God, that doesn't hurt too bad. It's not so bad. I jumped in my truck and went tooling around up in the backcountry, bouncing around on them roads. Ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. When I got back to the house, I couldn't get out of the truck. I couldn't get my legs to function. They just wouldn't do what I wanted them to do. And instead of coming in the house, the the wife and the kids, they run me to the doctor. Doctor did some x-rays. Doctor came to me and said, "What in the hell did you do?" And I go, "Nothing. I just went for a ride up in the backcountry." He goes, "Are you crazy?" I said, "Why? I didn't feel bad. It didn't. It hardly hurt." He goes, "Well, two of your fractures have actually expanded because of that." He says, "You just set yourself 2 weeks back. All your recovery so far, you just threw out the window." And I said, "Well, how's that even possible? I didn't feel any severe pain. It's just that my legs feel numb now." And he says, "That's because you got a bunch of nerves pinched off." He says, "You should have never done that. Should have never done that." And then I said to the doctor, I said, "I think I'm going to quit taking them pills you give me." He goes, "Well, there's no need for you to be in pain." I said, "But you know what? If I could have felt that, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done that if I was feeling some pain." So I cut that prescription in half. I cut it back to the point where I could tolerate the level of pain I was at. And if I moved wrong or did the wrong thing, it hurt. It really hurt. And I'd know, stop, don't do anymore. But before that, I didn't know when to stop because they took away my pain. The pain was trying to tell me, don't do that. But they took it away. So I was doing things that were actually hurting me. So I needed my pain. I did. I realized, oh my gosh, I need my pain. I need my pain to get through this. To get through the pain, I need it. Now, I've had all kinds of incidents over the years where I've done things that, I suffered with some severe pain for several days and tried to stay away from the painkillers. If I knew that the prognosis was that the pain will be gone within the next week, you'll be able to forget about it in the next week because the pain will be gone. Well, then I'll just have to embrace that pain because it's short term. I'll live with it because I know it's going away. Now, when you don't know if it's going away, now there's where we get into issues of chronic pains. I've had very, very close and dear friends that had severe chronic pain. One of them, it was arthritic pain to the point where his feet and his hands were deformed from the arthritis so badly that it hurt for him just to move his body at all. It hurt so bad. The amount of pain medication required to eliminate his pain due to his arthritis literally would make him non-functional. He wouldn't be able to do anything for himself. So he embraced and learned how to live with the pain and how to manage it. He did use pain medications. He usually used them in the evening so that he'd have a restful night, and then he'd start his next day off in pain, and the pain would progress and get worse towards the end of the day, and then he'd take a pain med for the night. Well, he learned how to manage his pain. His doctor was amazing, and his doctor praised him so much. His doctor swore up and down that guy went for 25 years beyond a wheelchair just because of how he embraced his pain. He said to me, my pain got so bad that I just wanted it all to end, right? I've had enough. I don't want to go on like this anymore. He said it got him to that point. He said, so then I decided either I put an end to myself or I have to come up with a way to live in pain, because he did not feel that he was going to be living, that it would be a life if he was so medicated he couldn't take care of himself, couldn't do anything. So he had to come up with a compromise. So he learned how to manage that pain. And he himself had said to me, he'd show up to, he had a landscaping crew. They went and they landscaped new homes and stuff. He couldn't do the physical labor, but he was always there on the job with those guys through every shift, every day. He was out there keeping, he was the man in charge, That, and you watch him walk, and it hurt to watch him walk. And he told me one day, I told him, I said, why are you even out here? I said, Ralph, go home. Go home. You don't need to be here. He said, no, I do have to be here. He says, I do have to be here. I said, but you're in so much pain. He says, that's why I have to be here. He says, because if I was at home, I'd be sitting there in pain. Just sitting there in pain. Out here, I get to talk to the guys. I get to talk to the customers. I get to see you. And he says, and I need my pain. That's what gets me up in the morning and gets me to come out here instead of sitting at home in pain, all alone at home in pain. He actually wasn't alone. He had a wife, but he felt alone when he sat at home and tried to. He says, when I come out here, I have to live with my pain, but I don't have to cope with it. I can come out here and say, ouch, son of a bitch, that hurts. Oh, ow, eat. And he said, but I get to be with all these guys. I get to be with you and my other friends. I see them every day. And he says, so I need my pain. Otherwise, I would never see you guys and you'd never see me. He says, and I'd eventually end up in a wheelchair for the rest of my life, probably being spoon-fed. So there was a perfect example of someone that learned they needed their pain. They needed their pain because they took their pain and they twisted it to give them quality of life, right? Before the break here, I'm going to give you another personal example. Is back that'd be 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I was 59 years old. One evening, I'm sitting and I'm watching television. Felt good. Then all of a sudden, it felt like I had an elephant sitting on my chest. Then it started it was hard to breathe. I couldn't breathe. I thought, what the heck is that all about? Now, I had had heart attacks before, but those were pain related. This was just this heavy weight on my chest, like I couldn't breathe. I decided I lived about 100 feet from my daughter's house. And I decided I'm going to walk over to my daughter's house. And it felt odd enough that I thought I should let them know. By the time I got in their house, the first thing came out of my mouth to my daughter was, can one of you drive me to the hospital? Because I knew something was really, really bad. Because that weight on my chest had increased, and now I was feeling pain, severe pain in my jaw and across my shoulder blades. And I said, none of this is good. Get me to the hospital. They got me to the hospital. Of course, they wire you all up and everything. Draw a bunch of blood. They got me on a nitro drip. I was popping nitros, and that was just keeping it where it was. It wasn't making it worse, wasn't making it better. It was just keeping it where it was. Well, when all the blood tests came back, they take a look at your blood proteins, and they can tell if you're having a heart attack by how those proteins keep increasing. They come back and they said, you know, you're right in the middle of a major heart attack. They said, you're lucky you got here when you did. So they shipped my butt to a heart hospital in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. I wasn't there 15 minutes. I mean, literally, they got me off the ambulance into the emergency room. No more than got me to the emergency room, and they're going to transfer me from the gurney onto the bed. There's a doctor on me right away. She's looking at the chart, checked my vitals, told the EMS crew, no, we want you to take him straight to the cardiac unit. And they ran me to the cardiac unit, and they had this exam room. They get me in there. Cardiologist is already in the room waiting for me. They checked me out, and she goes, guess what? They said, we can't get you in any sooner, but you're going to have 2 people in the room with you at all times. And if we have to, we'll take care of you right in the damn hallway. But she said, you have to have open heart surgery, and you have to have it now. Well, fortunately, they were able to delay it just long enough for my son and one daughter to be there. And she didn't feel that it was she said, your odds are fair that you'll come through this. Well, that's not good to hear, that your odds are fair. She didn't say they're good, didn't say they're excellent. She said, your odds are fair that we'll get you through this. So I got to say goodbye to my kids. And the next thing I knew, because boy, they knocked me out quick, had me in surgery, boom. Next thing I knew, I woke up to pure hell. Nothing but the worst pain I had ever felt. I thought when I busted my back, that was about the worst pain ever that I believed you could ever go through. Oh no. Waking up after that surgery was insane. The pain was insane. I was holding my breath, and I was trying to die because I didn't want to deal with the pain. It was that bad. I've always felt I got something to live for. Even in the absolute worst case, my lowest moment, I've got something to live for. I know I got something to live for. That, coming out of that surgery, I didn't have that anymore. I want out of here. I want away from this pain. And I asked them. They had removed my respirator, and I quit breathing. I took a breath, and the pain I felt, I held that air in. I didn't want to exhale. It hurt so damn bad. All of a sudden, I got a nurse on each side of me yelling at me, Sty, breathe. You have to breathe. You have to breathe. And as I let that air out, I said, just let me die, because I could feel myself drifting off. And it felt so good. I wasn't feeling the pain. But the minute they snapped me out of that, there's that pain, man. It was right there. Well, because of those 2 nurses, they managed to keep me going in pain. And then they said, Good, you saved our jobs. Because if we would have lost you, we would have lost our jobs. I said, oh, for crying out loud. I said, what can you guys do for the pain? They said, we're doing everything we can right now. There's nothing more we can do other than to put you under again. Now, it's the halfway point. It's the break time. I'm going to show off my channel members. And when I come back, I'm going to tell you why I needed that pain. So I'll see you in just a minute. It only takes a minute. This only takes a minute. So don't run off, you people. I'll be right back. Take a little peeks at the chat over there. I just love some of the people's comments. Will the Rocker. We're eating homemade pimento cheese toasted on wheat bread. Wish we had tomatoes at Mom's. I love that. I love that because if that isn't real, I mean that's life. That's so real. Love it. Sounds tasty right now. The oh, that's all right, Samantha Lee. Oh, no, 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 no. You talk to that producer way before you talk to Sty. I love you, girl. Awesome. Glad you had that chat with the producer. Samantha's got some neat little opportunities that are presenting themselves for her. I love to hear about it. Love to hear about it. So, at the conclusion of my heart surgery and me trying to deal with this extreme pain that put me at that point where I was telling myself, I'd rather not even be here. I'd rather just pass away. I don't want to live through this. If I got to live with this pain, then I don't want to live. Well, as those gals insisted that I keep breathing, it got to the point where I thought, I'm going to just quit breathing and the heck with these girls. And then I realized, wait a minute, that last breath didn't hurt quite as much. Took another one and I'm going, oh yeah, it's not quite as bad as it was. It's still nasty bad. After about 50 or 60 breaths, I'm realizing now it's a bearable pain. I can bear this. It's still bad, but I can bear this pain and I can breathe. So I guess I'll breathe. It didn't take long. Within about an hour, all of a sudden I realized I'm able to breathe without it hurting. Hardly at all. I could just barely tell. Don't sneeze. Don't cough. They give you a big old heart-shaped pillow. You hug that bugger against your chest just in case you want to go because you do that and it feels like your whole chest is going to explode, like it's going to just pop wide open. Terrible, terrible feeling. But that was the first day. The second day, They heard this clunking around in my room. So they came to check on me. Well, I was on two poles. They had two different IVs going, and they had a pole on each side of the dang bed. Well, I had figured it out that if I got myself sat up, and it hurt pretty bad, but I figured it out. I was able to get this pole around the foot of the bed and over to the other side to me. So I had both poles, and they heard some clanking around. So they came to check on me in my room, and they opened the door, and I'm standing right there at the door. Oops. Hi. They were a little upset. You are not allowed to be on your feet without one of us with you, period. And you're not allowed to be walking anywhere yet. So they scurry me back to bed and get me to sit down on the bed. And they said, what we want you to do is spend the rest of I said, no, I want to get up and walk. They said, what you do is now for the first half of the day, we want you to just get up about every 15 minutes, just stand up and stand there for 5-10 minutes and then sit down again, then get up again and do that once about every 15 minutes throughout the morning. And after lunch, then we're going to have you walking to the restroom, to your bathroom, and back to your bed, back and forth for the afternoon. Well, they finally said, when they came back after lunch, they said, well, we'll give in. We're going to let you walk to your doorway and back, but the door's staying wide open, and you're going to just walk to the doorway and back and forth. And we want you to walk to the doorway, back to the bed, rest for 20 minutes, a half hour, get up and walk to the doorway and back again. And just do that throughout the afternoon. Well, it was a couple hours later, all of a sudden they're raising holy hell with me because they caught me out in the ward. And it's a big, it's 150 feet one way, 150 feet the other way. I'm right in the middle of the damn ward. And you can walk down and go down another hallway and around, come all the way back and around and come right back to my room. Well, they caught me on the other side. You know, I had gone all the way down and around and was halfway back when they caught me. They said, what are you doing? They said, you have got to be in a lot of pain. I said, yeah, it hurts. It hurts. But look at I can walk, man. I can get around. I can use it. They took one of the IV poles off me, so I just had the one and used it like a rolling cane. And I said, I can get around. I got to look out the windows down there outside. I want to go outside. They go, you ain't going outside for a few days. I said, but I could smoke out there. They said, you can't be smoking anymore, you stupid heart attack. Well, I was out of there the morning of the fifth day. And they said, typically, their typical patient leaves in 7. My cardiologist said, you were ready to go on the 3rd day. I said, actually, on the 2nd day, when they caught me that evening walking around the ward, I was ready to go out to the other end of the parking lot for a smoke. She was ready to kick me in the pants on the way out the door. And she said to me, I'm amazed at how well you've recovered because you're leaving on the morning of the 5th day now. You're going to walk right out of here. You don't need a wheelchair out the door or nothing. You're just going to walk right out of here, get in the car. Your daughter's going to take you home. I bet you don't even get out of the parking lot. You're going to light up your first smoke. She says, you're so close to it not happening for what you just went through. And I'd really like to know how you managed to recover so fast because I'd like to encourage the rest of my patients to recover so quickly. And I said, I needed my pain. I needed my pain. That's what it was. Hi, running water. And she goes, what do you mean you needed your pain? I said, I needed that pain of waking up and it being so severe I wanted to die. Because every time I got out of that bed, and took the first couple steps, and it hurt like hell. I thought of that moment that I woke up in hell, and said, that pain, that pain I had is behind me. This pain is nothing compared to that pain. So I was able to use that extreme pain that I had to endure to get me through the future pains I had to recover. I needed that pain. I needed that severe pain. Otherwise, the recovery pains were bad enough. I could have very easily not realized there were pains worse than that and just felt sorry for myself and taken 2-3 times as long to recover. But instead, the severe pain helped me recover. So I believe I needed that severe pain. And hey, Step Van Dan, good to see you. Oh, way to go. Broke his foot with a bird bath stand. Ouch, ouch. I got a Sty story in the future about a person that got a broken leg with a bird bath. So, Dan, I know I don't personally know what you're going through because I haven't had that happen to me. I have had broken bones in my foot and I broke 7 of my toes all at the same time. Ouch. But so there is a case when Sty absolutely needed his pain. Now, I thought for the second half of the show, we're still talking about I need my pain. And I'm going to give 3 examples that most of you have seen already, but we haven't had the discussion of I needed that. I needed that. Pain went with these 3 situations. Each situation had its own pain, but I needed that pain. And I'm going to explain why. But I'm going to show you these little clips. They're just really, really short. And then I'm going to tell you why I needed the pain. Here's the first one. So do you think that's happened to me since? No. I needed that pain. If you watched closely, after I hit the ground and I pat the grass next to me, I reached over and rubbed my left butt cheek. Oh man, did I whack my tailbone. Oh my God. That was off camera. How bad that hurt. Oh, that hurt. That ground was so doggone hard. All my own doing. Okay, that camp chair. It's a bushcrafting chair. I built probably a dozen of them. Never had one collapse on me ever before. But they were all set up in different conditions. That location, that ground was so hard and compacted. Sure, there was grass growing there, but it was thin. It looks pretty grassy, but that was thin grass. If I would have taken the camera and showed you the ground itself, you would have gone, boy, I'm surprised grass grows there. It almost looked like a parking lot. That's how hard it was. Well, the legs of that chair were made to stick in the ground, right? So they don't move. They stick in the ground. Well, they wouldn't stick in that hard ground, but I thought 3 points, it'll carry me, it won't be a problem. And like a damn fool, I just sat in it. And guess what? Pain came with that. Pain came with it. I needed that pain. I needed that pain because that pain, every time I go to sit in that style camp chair anymore, especially that style camp chair anymore, I stop and I go check all three legs and make sure they're stuck in the ground because my pain reminds me. It's just like it rears its ugly head and says, "You're gonna fall," and it's gonna hurt. So I need that pain. I need the pain that goes with those camp chairs. Now here's another example, so much like the camp chair, but it's different in a way, and I'll explain that right after you catch this, after you watch this. You can see this tree's dead. I mean, it's dead. It's rotting. It broke off. The camera's sitting on its broken off stump. And right here is a huge piece of chaga. See that? That monstrous piece of chaga. I told you this birch tree was dead. The key to that is, I told you that birch tree was dead. Then why did you sit on it, you big dope? Again, I didn't bat an eye, and I completed that whole video. It's posted back in my videos. It's called the Chaga Dilemma, I think. But I never missed a beat. Completed my video. I didn't want to have to do a second take. But the minute I was done with the video and I knew the camera was off, holy God, you should have seen me walking in circles, holding my butt. Oh my God, that hurt. That log was rotten. But when I came down, my butt slid down the end of that log and hit the ground just hard. But I didn't bat an eye. I want to make sure I finished my video without, you don't want to see a grown man crying out in the woods. But boy, I tell you what, I was whining a lot after the fact. I needed that pain. I needed that pain because I didn't even have to replay it and look at it. I knew what I had said. See this birch tree? It's all rotten. There's cameras on a broken off stump. That's the stump of this tree. It's a rotten tree. What did I do? Grabbed that chaga, went over and sat on that rotten tree. Well, of course, the dang thing's not going to carry my 200 plus pounds. Boom, hit the ground. What did I say? See, I told you, the tree's rotten. I needed that pain. Has that happened again since then? No. I sit on some blown down tree anywhere. Oh man, I'm kicking it, checking it. It better be solid. There's no rot in it. If it just blew over because of a storm, it's a solid tree. I'll sit on it. If it fell over on its own, I ain't sitting on it. I needed that pain for the future so I never have to do it again. I don't have to feel that again by sitting on a rotten tree or by sitting in a badly set up chair. Okay? I'm sure there's going to be some other thing that I do that I'm going to bust my tailbone again. This last one is another one where sometimes you just don't learn from your pain. And I'm going to explain that right after we take a peek at this. Only takes a few seconds. Oh, fucking son of a bitch. Oh, Jesus H. Christ. Now that doesn't happen often, but when it does, it pisses you off. It sure does. Now, I didn't play it all the way through because I talk about how this ground was kind of soft and I didn't hurt myself and this and that, you know. That was at the moment. The next morning, oh my Lord, was I stiff, and my my right hip hurt like the devil because I went down onto my right hip and I rolled. I figured I didn't hurt myself in any sense whatsoever. But the next morning told me otherwise. Told me, well, you hurt yourself. You're just too dumb to know it. That next morning, I needed that pain. I needed that pain because that pain reminded me, watch where you're walking, you dope. I don't care how old you are. You really should pay attention to where you're walking and what you're stepping on or stepping over or what you could trip up in because it could hurt you and you're going to be in pain. And if it happens to you once, that pain that you got, you need that pain so it doesn't happen to you twice. Now, when it comes to falling down like that, many of you already know that ain't nothing new for Sty. I'm a fallen kind of guy. I went to a really remote. Yeah, Cheesehead's asking if the ground was okay afterwards. Yeah, I checked. Yeah, the ground said it was fine. That it would recover. Yeah, there's another incident, but I didn't have the clip for it handy. But where I went to a waterfall I had never heard of before, and I thought I got to check this one out. And it's no wonder that I hadn't heard about it before because people aren't going to go brag about this waterfall because it's a nasty bugger to get close enough to see. Well, I got a little too close and slid down an embankment, and a big red pine is all that stopped me. If I hadn't hit that big pine, it would have been 60 feet. I slid a good 40 feet down the hill. From that point, it's 60 feet off of the edge of that, down into the canyon floor. It's all rocky with the river running through the center. Gaff is doing an update. Thank you. Yeah, don't forget, guys, if you got an extra buck or two, get over there and plop it on the Granny's GoFundMe. Help her out. We got a long ways to go yet, but she's getting there. Thanks to all the generosity out there. So, for all you Americans, you get your stimulus. Oh, heck, kick her a couple of bucks. What the heck? You won't even feel it. I need my pain. But yeah, when I fell at that waterfall and realized if I would have missed that big tree, woohoo! I wouldn't have needed that pain. All I would have needed was funeral arrangements if I would have gone off the edge of that fucker. Now, that was one of the few times that Sty crashed, but didn't burn. I crashed and slid all the way down that hill. It was a fast, soft ride down that face of that embankment. So I didn't learn well on that one. I got good and scared. It scared me. This boy was scared that he was going to go off the cliff. I already had it in my mind that if I didn't hit that pine tree, I was going to turn that camera and say goodbye as I went off the edge. That would have been my viral video. So, through all the years, all of the pains I've been through, and all the pains I've seen others go through, I need that pain. If you see pain in others, sympathize and help and do whatever you can to help them get through it. And you may never suffer the same pain that the person you're trying to help is going through. but you need their pain too. You need to take their pain to heart. And every day you're having a good day, think back to the pains in life and say, this is a much better day. I'm that way. Today, I'm having a great day today. This is a great day. I feel like $1,000,000. It's beautiful outside. It's 55 degrees. It's sunny. Beautiful. It's a beautiful day. I got some things done today. I'm a happy camper. It's a great day. But knowing what the topic was this evening, earlier today, I told myself, I said, oh, that's right. I need my pain. And I thought back to when I first got home after leaving the hospital from my heart surgery. And I told myself, oh, when I got home, I go, oh my gosh, I'm home. I don't think I'll ever have a better day than getting home from that damn hospital and all that pain. Today, I thought about that and I thought, boy, was I mistaken. Today isn't a great day. That day was. This day is an excellent day. It's an excellent day because it's a day without pain. I got no pain. Got no pain. I got memories of pain. And I need that. I need that. I need to remember that pain because it makes all my good days great, makes all my great days excellent. When I think back of what it is to go through pain, those days are horrible, unbearable. But by golly, don't let that pain go to waste. Keep it because you need it. Because when you think back to it on a good day, you just go, yes. It's not one of those. It's not one of them damn days. It's not one of those pain days. MBA, my brother, it's great to see you. Great to see you. There's my bearded guitar playing, singing shine drinker. Hey, I don't have a lot of time left here. I got to shut her down. But MBA, I don't know if you can see that, but that's Huckleberry Shine. Huckleberry Shine. I'm saving it for out of camp. But boy, when I go over and watch you're drinking that cinnamon. Oh, that was pissing me off. Made me want to open that jug. Yeah. No. But what don't kill you makes you a better person. But you're going to have to go through the pain. We all do. We all do. It's like I said at the beginning of the show. I don't want anybody trying to convince me they haven't been through pain. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And if you haven't ever experienced pain, then there's something wrong with your nervous system, and or you better hold on to your ass because something's gonna happen. Nobody gets through this life without pain. It's just part of life. It's part of life. Yeah, sometimes no pain, no gain. That's right. I love that kind of pain. I love going out, working a hard day. End of the day, I sit down, I put my feet up, and I go, oh man, my legs hurt, my feet hurt, my hands hurt. Ooh, oh, all the muscles in my back. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a healthy pain. That was a healthy pain. I just love that kind of pain because it goes away. It goes away. And I gained something because of all the effort, So that's the top of the hour, guys. Love y'all. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here today. If you didn't get in till late, hey, I post them. Every Sty Times is posted. This will be 21 of them up there. You can go back and watch any episode of Sty Times at any time. So until the next time, guys, The next time actually will be Wednesday evening at 5 p.m. And the I've got the topic for Wednesday is walks that last forever. It's a topic I like. It's really a topic I like. And I hope to see you there. Love y'all. You all stay safe until I see you again Wednesday evening. Bye.